We have 2 nudists on our council. That's, yeah. I don't know what is going on, Jesus Christ. 2 out of 6 people on our council are nudists. Yeah, that's great. Hello everyone, I am the one and only Boiler and I welcome you to episode 43 of Crusader Kings III. Yeah, before we start, I have a little problem here that I need to talk about. I cannot use the live audio that I recorded for this episode because, well, it turned out that the audio was extremely choppy for some reason. It was complete garbage. I cannot do that to you guys. So I had to discard it. Why it was that way, I don't know, because, well, up until this episode I had no problems with the audio, and when I tested it afterwards I didn't have any problem as well. So I have no idea why the hell it didn't work with this episode. I have checked all the settings, everything seems fine, so I have no idea. It was just, well, I could not use it. So yeah, what I will do here is I will play back the video feed and basically try to comment on that, well, after the fact, so to say. So yeah, it will be a little bit weird today, but I hope we can manage. So yeah, we are back in the game, and the plan is still to create that empire and drive expansion further and yeah, sort out our succession. As you can see, I am checking on the heraldry fascination to see when we will be able to unlock that, because with that we'll be able to upgrade our succession law and should have less of a problem with losing titles on succession. As you can hear, I'm checking on what titles will be lost, and as you can see, we'll basically lose every kingdom title except the Kingdom of Bern, and that is not good. I mean, I want to keep at least 3 kingdom titles for our emperor, so for our main character. So we'll need to upgrade that succession law before we can turn into an empire, and then we'll see what that does for our succession. So who gets what after that. So I will need to sort that out at some point, and I think we'll do that after we have that discovered that fascination that will allow us to upgrade our succession law. So another thing that we will do at the start of this video is we'll participate in a feast. As you may remember, on the last in the last episode we had an invitation for a feast that didn't start yet, so we'll do that at the start of this episode. And right now I'm checking around to see who we could declare war upon. Yeah, because we need to expand further, and one thing I really want to do in this episode is basically get the kingdom title for West Francia, because we don't have that yet, so we really want that. So at least we have all of France, and I will also try to gobble up some more territory that we are still missing in this area. Yeah, I also checked shortly on the eastern stuff there, East Francia, and what's the other one there? I'm checking on my advisors to see if they are all doing what they should be doing. I'm trying to figure out where my steward is promoting the Swabian culture, because I don't remember, but I will find out in a moment. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's not down there, it's further up, and there it is. Yeah, I found it, as you can see. So yeah, all the advisors are doing what they should be doing. That's all right. Yeah, that's Augsburg is there on the eastern border. So I checked that as well. But we will be expanding in the west, as we have done over the last several episodes. Currently checking on religious matters, if I should have my my bishop promote our faith, but it looks quite good for the Catholic, so I don't really think we'll need to do something about that. So I'll leave him on religious affairs, so he will be promoting my well, the opinion of religious characters of me. Yeah, I switched the marshal, or don't I yet? No, I'll leave him on levies. I will switch him to knights at some point in this episode, but currently he's still managing the levies. Yeah, and I'm still looking for someone to attack, as you can see. I'm having a hard time figuring this out, but yeah, I will eventually find someone that I can attack. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite difficult to talk about after you have played, because the spontaneity is basically lost. What I'm now doing is checking if I can build or upgrade something somewhere, because we had an innovation that we got in the last episode I didn't check out. So I'm currently looking if that innovation unlocked something that we can now build or upgrade, which does not seem to be the case currently. So yeah, we'll not be building something, but yeah, well, we'll just hang on to the money. We'll be able to use it for something at some point. So we are now going to declare this war, and this will be the shortest war that we have ever fought. I will just raise some local levies because well, there's really no need to raise the whole army for that single county there. And here is the feast that I talked about that has now triggered as we unpost the game. We are at Duchess Albina's court, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. As always, we are looking forward to the feast. Yeah, and as you can see, we have an army of 6,000, while the other guy only has like 1,000 troops. So this will be a very, very short war. Was that the sound of an empty cup you just sat down on the table to hear anything over the din of the great hall? Duchess Albina must have enchanted ears. My gracious host waves for a servant. More wine here. No one will go thirsty. So what we'll do with this? There's a chance to become a drunkard if I choose the upper one, which we will not choose because of that. So we'll say we've had quite enough, so we'll select the lower one. We don't really need the opinion bonus we will get from her. She only has 1,000 troops, so we don't need her to like us very much. So yeah, we've had enough. We'll not drink more, because we have a problem with obesity, and becoming a drunkard is not really what I had in mind for our ruler. So what do we have? The feast is dwindling down, and I find myself deep in conversation with my witless acquaintance Dimitrio. He inquires about my opinion on court politics, a subject he is deeply interested in himself. So he is absolutely nobody. So we are not. We don't need his meaning, or we don't need his friendship or whatever. So I can select whatever is best for our character. So he will gain opinion in that option, which we don't need because really he is nobody and he isn't good at anything. So I could not care less. Yeah, we'll form a rivalry, or the other one is he will gain opinion. So basically, he will gain or lose opinion. It doesn't really matter to us. So we'll just select the first option and be done with that. So, and as you can see, this battle is well, completely lopsided. A promise is a promise. Don't concern with any etiquette. My friend Dimitri slaps me on the back. I mean it, he exclaims. I'll do anything you ask of me, anything at all. Ask me and it is done. I can smell the alcohol on Dimitri's breath, but the promise has been noted by every guest present. So what we will do with that? I can get a hook, or I can get some opinion from him. So we don't need his opinion, well, so we'll go for the hook, obviously. So we have captured a valuable hostage in that battle, and we are already at 100% war score. And I'm now checking on my prisoners and see if I can ransom anyone. And as it would look, we have captured both the Duke and the Duchess. So we're going to ransom. We're going to ransom her, or aren't we? I'm not really sure. yeah, we are ransoming her, and then no, we are not. Who did we ransom? I just lost track of what we were doing. Yeah, we'll see in a moment. So we ransomed someone. Anyway, so what a feast! I will remember that I spent in Dutch Hall for a long time to come. Yeah, the feast is over, and we lost some stress, which is great, obviously, and that's that. So yeah, so we got some money. We still have a prisoner for 100 gold. Do we ransom that? Yeah, we'll ransom her. Yes. So don't we? I think I didn't ransom her for whatever reason. Oh, did I mix something up? Is that the shortest war, or is it the other one that we will fight? We'll fight more wars here, and one of them was really short. Well, it wasn't that one. Yeah, it wasn't that one, I think. Well, it's still very short. We fought one battle. Now we are doing one siege, and once that over, well, we'll have one basically. Yeah, we have another prisoner there. But we don't get much money for those now. 10 gold, well, it's not really worth it. 10 gold, 10 gold. I mean, while we are waiting for the answer to that ransom, we'll spend more money on our troops there. So it's really we're just going to enforce our demands, and now we have that county for ourselves. So yeah, that was our first war in this episode. And now, what do we do? I'm curious myself. I mean, I recorded this 2 days ago, so I'm not really sure what happens when. So I have to watch and see. So I didn't learn this. How do we say? I didn't memorize this episode, so I just recorded it, and when I realized that the audio was garbage, I decided to re-record the audio, but I didn't watch it in the meantime, so I don't have any idea what the hell is going on. So I'm just trying to figure out who we can give this county to, because it really belongs to the duchy to the left there, to Bordeaux. The problem is, and I will realize that in a moment, that the county that we captured is actually ruled by a duke or a duchess. So that is a problem. We cannot give a duke, or it's a duchess. Yeah, we cannot give a duchess as a vassal to a duke. That will not be possible. And I'm really just trying to figure out why the hell is she a duchess, and I will discover that she has a duchy title of a duchy that she no longer controls, which is weird. So well, I guess this problem will solve itself at some point. So I cannot transfer the vassal there, and I'm going to check again. She has the Duchy of Vizcaya, and I'm now trying to figure out where the hell that is. So Duchy of Vizcaya is... This is the county there, and the duchy is down there. Can you see? So she no longer controls that, because that is in another kingdom. So she does not control that, but she still got the title, which is, well, somewhat weird. Now, one thing I didn't think about here, and so maybe something we can do in the next episode, is since she has that title, we may be able to declare war for that duchy on her behalf, and then try to get that for her. So yeah, that might be possible. But for now, she will be our direct vassal, because, well, we can't transfer her. And maybe that is the... I'm not really sure, but I think that will be the shortest war that I was talking about previously. Because, yeah, well, it's a very small realm, so he only has 2 counties, and that may be it. Actually, that may be it. That may be the one I was talking about previously. So we'll see. Because I remember I had a war in this episode where I just had like one battle, and that was it. Then we already won, so I think that's this one. Yes, so we got some opinion bonus because stuff happened, and we have more nudists. Yeah, Jesus Christ! I mean, we'll see a ton of nudists in this episode. I don't know what's going on in the Kingdom of Bern. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to figure out. We will lose some land when a vassal dies, and it's this vassal there. He has a son, but for some reason he has another primary heir, which is not his son. I have no idea why the hell this is the case. So this guy seems to be his primary heir for whatever reason. And yeah, the game tells us that we will lose some land when he dies. So not really sure what happens there, but when it happens, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when it happens. We'll not deal with it right now. So we are now dealing with this war, and yeah, as you can see, our army is way bigger than the enemy army, so this will not be a problem. In fact, yeah, I really think this is the one I talked about previously. So we'll destroy this army, and then we'll be at 100 war score, as you can see. So that's the one, I think. And I think I'm not going to ransom him for some reason. Let's see. Yeah, because he cannot afford the full sum, and so we're basically going to enforce the demands. So, and that's it. That was the war, and it's really it's just like a couple of minutes. I mean, one battle and that's it. So now we'll need to deal with these two counties that we got there, Belloc and Grand Mont, because we don't want to keep these. We want to give these away, because we already have a bunch of Bourbon territory. So yeah, we'll try to give this away to someone, and we'll see in a moment who that is. So Grand 2, and then yeah, what I'm doing here. Oh, I'll just well, I first create the title Duchy of Bourbon. That didn't exist previously, so we create that, and here are the nudists. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So what am I trying to figure out there? Yeah, he's the Count of Bourbon, so I probably want to give him the other two counties as well, or at least I'll first try to give those to someone else and then transfer the vassalage to him, something like that. So let me quickly check on the time. Yes, just so I know what is happening here. So what I'm trying to do. County of La Marche, County of Belloc. Yeah, so I gave him the County of La Marche, and then I'm trying to give the other one away to someone. I don't really know why I gave him the County of La Marche, because he already has two counties, Bourbon and Chaligny, so I shouldn't have given him the other one there. So now he has three counties, but yeah, whatever. So we'll give Belloc to someone else, and yeah, this guy is chased, so there's a problem with producing heirs, so we'll not do that. Now I'm looking for another guy. He seems alright, I think. Yes, other than that he's paranoid and stuff, but he seems to be alright, so we'll give it to him. So he's now my vassal, and I'm now going to transfer him to the nudist. So where is that? Yeah, Duchy of Bourbon. So now he, and for some reason he doesn't own Chaligny. Let me have a look there. So what is going on? So this is this guy, this is his leash, And if we go there to Choligny, he has another leash, Count Hartmann. Yes, that's the problem right there. Duke Hartmann, not Count Hartmann. Duke Hartmann of, yeah, and he's also a nudist of Vienna. So both of these dukes are nudists, which is really weird, and their wives are as well. So yeah, I mean, if this goes on, we'll become an entire kingdom or empire with nude rulers. we'll develop a nudist cult or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's really. I mean, look at him. It's just nah. Yeah, whatever. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take away his vassal, the Count of Choligny, because it doesn't belong to his duchy. So we will give that to the other guy over there in Bourbon. So once I figure out what exactly I want to do, yes, now I took this away, and I will now give it to the other nudist over there. So Grand Vassal, and the Count of Choligny will be transferred to the rightful owner. So now I realized that there is another problem down there, because the county of Forez is somehow attached to the Duchy of Bourbon, which is also not right. So we'll need to do something with that as well. We'll need to give this to the right duchy. So we go and we will revoke this title, which of course our vassals will not like, but our vassals are doing great, as you can see. I mean, we have very high opinion across the board, except a few individuals who don't really like us that much, but most really do like us. I mean, we are legendary. We are a living legend. We have a very long reign. We have very high diplomacy skills. So we really have a good situation with our vassals. So we can afford to alienate them to some degree, which I will do here with stripping away his county of Forest there. So yeah, I hope I will get around to it at some point. It's really weird watching me doing it, because I'm like, well, do it already. But yeah, it takes time to figure stuff like that out. So retract vassal. No, not retract vassal. What was it? Revoke title, was it? Yes, county of Forest. Yeah, revoke that title and see what happens. Yep, it's done, and now I only need to transfer it to this guy, and then he will like us again, because right now he doesn't like us. But if we transfer this, well, we first grant it to someone, then we'll transfer that to him. So we'll then see what happens to his opinion. So did we find someone? No, still not. So we are still looking for someone here who we can give this to. Jacob. No, not Jacob. Leopold von Glaros. He looks alright. He has a son. Yeah. For some reason, but yeah, he has a very skinny wife. Jesus Christ. Oh man, someone give her a sandwich, please. She looks like Skeletor. Jesus Christ, that's not normal. Yeah. Please, don't you feed her? Jesus Christ. So now he is a count, and we'll now be able to transfer him to the other nudist there. So yeah. Have fun. Have fun with your nudist leash. So now what are we doing now? We have sorted that out. We still have some border gore going on. As you can see, if you look at this map, there's definitely some border gore going on inside our realm, but we'll deal with that at another point. So We got a child of our dynasty. Yes, that's always great. Always trying to grow the dynasty because that gives us renown. Oh, what the hell? So, she looks like Schwarzenegger. So, what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm trying to go to war over Aquitaine because, yeah, we have one county already, and we want to get more of that. So, so we're going to war over that. So what do we have here? I'm trying to sway the Duchess Sanka. So what I'm going to pick here. I have the option to make a convincing argument, which has a 62% chance, or I could just go with a safe option. Now the chance option gives me 50 opinion and 75 prestige. The other one costs me 75 prestige. We have more than enough prestige, we can afford it, so I'm going to choose the risky one and of course lose. Yeah, that worked out well. Whatever, so we are still swaying the good Duchess. And now I'm trying to, what I'm trying to do, power of the scriptures. Yeah, Archbishop Victor often quotes passages from the scriptures about the holy virtues. I should prove I have paid attention by quoting a passage of my own, preferably one which complements his personality. I will memorize and recite a section on. Now I'm trying to figure out what he might like. And the thing is he is a vengeful character, and because of that, I am going with vindictiveness. So I figured that might appeal to him because he's a vengeful character. But apparently, as you will see in a moment, once I figured out what vindictiveness means, yeah, sometimes I'm really slow, I realize. Sometimes I really take my time trying to figure out stuff. So yeah, I'm clicking on it and it was the wrong one. As you can see, he is not really happy about this. He's actually very angry, as it would seem. So yeah. These are not the words of God, but they're from the Bible. Jesus, I thought I remember I recited something from the Bible, so these have to be the words of God, don't they? Yeah, whatever. So another child of my dynasty, but he cannot be named Alexander because he will not rule. So we'll name it him Hugo. So I'm trying to look for a decision, and I'm going for losing weight, because our character is obese, and the problem with that is he might die sooner than he needs to. So we really want to lose that obese penalty. So we are going for losing weight to offset that. I should have done that sooner. I didn't realize that this decision was available actually. So I didn't go look for it. But now we are going to fight this obesity. As you can see, it offsets all our other bonuses we have. So we have so many health bonuses, but then we are obese, which is not good. So we're trying to ransom some people. Then we have another child of my dynasty. Yeah, they're really popping out right now, one after the other. But yeah, that's great. Our dynasty grows. It should grow. So we have more. What do we have there? So we don't need to work off some stress. But yeah, my nephew was slain in battle. Don't really care about that. And we didn't go to war for Aquitaine just yet, but we will at some point. So so we have another faction, but it's just peasant rabble. I don't care about peasant rabble. We can easily deal with any peasant rabble that comes, that emerges somewhere. And I have another feast, but I think this is one of these that will not really trigger. No, it will trigger. It has triggered. So we are at another feast, because sometimes we get an invitation to a feast, but then nothing happens. So no. So, what are we doing? Not much, it seems. Yeah, I'm checking on the age of my guy. So our steward has finished promoting culture. So we are going to select a new target for him. And we will select Geneva. Now in the next episode I will probably set him to improve development, because we are really backwards right now on development, and we could really use to increase that. We could really use to increase that. So we'll see about increasing development in the next episode. So I'm checking on heraldry again, how long it will take until we get there. And until we get there, so we have some secret exposed. My son Prince Heinrich accused my son Prince Belisarius of having an extramarital affair with his lover Duchess Agnes. How could he defile the sanctity of his marriage? So I'm now trying to figure out what to do with that. So it has nothing to do with my primary heir, it seems, so that's already good. But I figure out that my primary heir is melancholic, which is not good, and he has a dead child. Yeah, that doesn't look too sexy. I mean, melancholic means he could kill himself at some point. That is not good, because he's our primary heir, and the second one that comes behind him is not that great of a guy, so we really want him to succeed us. And yeah, the dead child is also not too great, because, well, I mean, if he dies and he doesn't have a son, yeah, that's another problem with succession. So we really need to try and do something about that, but I don't really know what. So I'm back with this problem here. I'm trying to figure out what we will do. I mean, we could punish the crime, or we could just ignore it. Sorry. Yeah, and I'm ultimately going to just ignore it, because, well, we don't get anything from punishing these guys. So we'll not do that. We are a benevolent king. We are not going to punish people just for the hell of it. We are only going to punish people if we get something out of that. So we're a little bit opportunistic, I would say, but that's fine. That's fine. Rules have to be opportunistic. So how long? Jesus Christ! How long do I take to figure this out? Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what we can get out of this, but it seems we cannot get anything out of it. So just click on the button. God damn it. Yeah, it's not take the bottom one. So, level of devotion. I lost the level of devotion because I ignored the adultery there, but yeah, don't care. I'm not a really devout Christian, so I'm okay with that. So we have another perk that we can take, and I'm trying to figure out which one, and I will take the one on the left because of that. Because this gives me opinion bonuses with different culture and different religion, which is great. I mean, opinion bonuses are always a good thing to have. So we're always going for these if we can. So what else do we have? Yeah, we are still trying to lose weight. We are still obese. And yeah, our health is fine because we have a ton of bonuses. So we are still trying to improve our situation there. And I'm again checking on heraldry because I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to do with until we get there. So we have another feast, this time with Duke Hesso of Alsace. Yeah, and of course we'll all attend as always. I look forward to this. So, Duke Hesso announced a slightly delay to the serving of the food, and Duke Hesso looks ready to burst with frustration. In between grumbles from his stomach, I only hear grumbles of displeasure, so I'm now trying to figure out what to do with that. And yeah, just check on it. You gain courteous guest, which gives diplomacy, opinion of everyone, and that's a great thing. The other one down there is I lose stress. I don't have any stress right now, so yeah, I will obviously go with the top one. Yes, so what do we have? The pleading gaze I receive from my acquaintance Amelie is taking on a desperate tone. A group of guests are approaching the corner she has hidden all evening, and the walls are hindering her escape. To think a duchess would act in such a way. So now what can I do with that? This is the wife of the guy I'm currently a guest of. So what do I do? I can distract the converging guests, or I can tell us a story. I can say tell us a story, but I'm not cruel, so I will just try to distract the guests, even though that gives us less of a bonus than the other option. So the conversation part, there's one plate of food is replaced by the next. My vassal Count Adam goes on and on about investment opportunities. And that was how we salvaged that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, my lord? No, please go on, because the interesting conversation is always a good bonus to have. It gives +1 diplomacy and +1 learning, so we'll definitely do that. We are still swaying the good Duchess. Sophie's returning home. That was it, and yeah, I look really pleased. Probably ate a ton of food and drank beer and wine and whatever. So yeah, it really helps our health. That's how we gained obese in the first place. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, as naked court, I'm heading for my chambers to enjoy some blessed sleep when I hear a faint rustle from a window. Just the wind, I think, until the wind starts to speak. Sophie, open up, my sweetness. It is I, Rudolph. I push the shutters open, and lo and behold, a man has climbed up to Sophie's window. It is the Count Rudolph of Bellac, and he's a nudist! Jesus Christ, yes, naked court. There's definitely a snake in this picture somewhere, yes. And his intent is completely clear, being naked like that. I mean, yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go as soon as he enters her chamber. Yeah, I can't do anything about this. I will just, confirm whatever it is. And yeah, it's again one of our daughters. I don't know what's going on with this family. I mean, yeah. I think this is the third time this happened since we are playing King Alexander. This has to be the third time this happened. And her husband looks completely clueless. He looks happy and everything, but he doesn't know what his wife is doing behind his back. So yeah, poor guy. So yeah, we'll just ignore that. We don't have any other possibilities there, so we'll just ignore that. So what I'm trying to do now, I have no idea. I'm just looking around the map. So we have the heraldry fascination, finally. So what are we going to do there? I will change my succession law. I will see what happens. So now all of these guys get kingdoms, so we'll lose 5 titles on succession. And all of them are kingdom titles as far as I see. So we are going for high partition. It doesn't give us any negative stuff, so it just will make sure that more of the titles we have will go to our primary heir. So we'll close that down, unpause the game for a moment so everything can update, and then have another look. And now we'll lose 7 titles on succession. But interestingly enough, we'll lose 2 less kingdom titles, which is great. If I see correctly, we'll actually retain 3 kingdom titles, which is exactly what I wanted to go for. I wanted to keep 3 kingdom titles for our main heir. So Sardinia is not a problem. We can give this away. The other ones will need to see what we can do with these. There's a little bit of a problem down at the bottom where one of the guys will get the Duchy of Burgundy, which is basically our core, one of our core provinces, and we don't really want to lose that. So Prince Belisarius will get that, but we will try to see and see what we can do about this. And it will be interesting to see what happens once we become emperor, because that will shift things again. Because emperor is a higher tier title, so this will shift the succession situation again, and it will be really interesting to see what happens there. So yeah, becoming an empire with these kind of succession laws is a pain in the ass, really, because yeah, partition is always a pain in the ass, but especially so if you want to become an empire and you have already some kingdoms and stuff, and you have a bunch of sons, and yeah, it will be a problem. So let's see what we are going to do. Yeah, we are actually going to declare war on the king of West Francia, because we really want that. And what I figured out there is that this county down there doesn't directly belong to the king. So I figured if we attack him and take everything away that he directly owns, we should then be able to finally usurp this title, which we couldn't so far because he is not a Catholic. He's of a different faith, and he still controls the sure counties of the western of West Francia. So as long as he does that, we cannot usurp the title. The thing is that I didn't realize here is that the county down there that I had a look at, that is not directly controlled by him, he will obtain that when we take the other stuff away from him. He will obtain that. He will just kick out his vassal, basically. Then he will still rule directly over a county. But it doesn't matter, because that county actually belongs to the Kingdom of Brittany. Which means once we kick him out of his own lands, he will only rule over a county of Brittany, which we don't care about, because it's not a sure part of West Francia. Therefore, we will be able to usurp the kingdom title of West Francia, finally. But right now, I'm just checking on what our next fascination should be, and I'm going for knighthood, because this gives direct vassal opinion +5, and direct vassal opinion is always a cool thing to have. So we'll definitely go for that. Yeah. Still trying to figure out what to be fascinated by next. Again, I'm really taking a long time trying to figure stuff out, aren't I? Okay. Yeah, I will eventually make my decision here, and then we will be able to carry on. So, Jesus Christ, just decide on something, will you? I mean, you already know you want knighthood, so why don't you just get it over with? So yeah, finally. So are we going to declare this war now, or aren't we? Or are we going for Aquitaine first? Yeah, I think we are going first. We were going for Aquitaine first, okay? Or not? Jesus Christ, I don't remember in what order I was doing the stuff. So it looks like we are going for Aquitaine first. Declare war, holy war for Dutch. Yes, declare war. Do it. So we declared this war, and we will be raising some troops at the closest rally point, because, well, they only have 3,000 troops, so this means we can just raise our local army again, because, well, that will be more than enough to deal with these guys. So yeah, we are going in there, and they are already laying siege to one of our counties. Now, this is a thing that I find a little bit weird about how the AI reacts to invasions. They always attack your lands, while I think they should be concentrating on defending their own. I mean, if they would just hunker down in their capital, they would have, I think they would have defensive bonuses and better supply and whatever, and maybe that could tip the balance of the battle, if they would just sit there and try to defend their stuff instead of trying to attack me. I mean, look at the look at how this is here. I mean, he has 3,000 troops when this war started. We have 30,000. It's 10 times as much. There is no way he will be able to beat us on our own turf. It's just not possible that he will be able to win this war by sieging our counties. I mean, we have so much land. Even if he manages to siege some of that, we will have sieged his entire domain by the time he has sieged like 2 or 3 of our counties, and then we'll still win the war. So there's absolutely no point in leaving his own borders and trying to attack us. So the best defense would really be defense in this point, in this case, and not offense, as is often said. In this case, it would really be just defense. Just try to fend off the invading army. But yeah, maybe that will be changed in some future update, because as you can see, we already have 100 war score. We won 1 battle, we have sieged his capital, and that's it. He didn't even manage to siege 1 county. I mean, if he would just have stayed in his capital, I mean, he would still have lost, but at least he would have done some damage to my troops. But as it stands, he didn't do anything. So yeah, I'm really not happy with how that works. I really would like to see some change to that. That the AI would react a little bit smarter to being invaded. I mean, maybe he had some gold. He could have raised some mercenaries. Maybe he could have even mustered an army large enough to beat my army of 6,000 men, because I didn't bring my whole army. I just was like, yeah, well, 6,000 are enough. So yeah, I don't know. So what am I doing right now? I'm trying to figure out who I will give this stuff to. I mean, yes, this is the Duchy of Aquitaine that we now completely control, and I'm trying to figure out who we give this to. No, we don't control it completely. There's still a county left, Onis or whatever that is, on the coast there, that we will conquer at some later point in time. So I could just give the whole thing to the other guy down there who will receive the Duchy of Burgundy, but I don't really want to do that. The problem is they all already have some domain somewhere. So if I just give them stuff, the problem is that they will have unconnected realms, which is not good. So I'm not really sure what I want to do there. So I just give this to him. Yes, I do. So how does it look right now? So he is out of the picture, but now the other guy is there and will receive some of our titles, which is not good. So yeah, we have a little bit of a problem right now. So it will be interesting to see what will happen there. So now I'm going for West Francia finally. I declared a war, and he has a few troops more than our last few opponents, because he is the king of West Francia and he has some allies. So we'll need to raise more troops this time around. We have an army of 8,000 that will attack his capital, and I will raise. As you can see, he has more than 8,000 troops in total. There are 2 armies right there. Which means it's basically right now it's like a draw between the 2 armies, but we don't like draws, so we are recruiting 6,000 more men, and yeah, try to or no, that's That's 6,000 army is from him. So actually he has even more. He has 14,000 troops, as it would seem. Yes. So yeah, we have this 5,000 troops there. Or no, this 6,000 army is not from him. This is another a war that doesn't have to do anything with ours. So he has around the same amount of troops as our orange army right there, and the blue army is just basically here to make sure that that the outcome will be in our favor. So yeah, what are we going to do? I'm going with this 8,000 army after him, because now he has only 7,500. Did he lose some soldiers somewhere? I don't know, but yeah, we will win that battle easily, because we attacked his one army first, and then the other one came in later. So we had a definite advantage there, and we are now going to lay siege to his capital and use the other army to chase down what remains of his army, which is actually not much. So yeah, that's what we are doing here. So let's see how that turns out. Now, obviously, we will win this war. So this is a problem that a lot of games have. At some point, you will just become so powerful that you will just win, no matter what, who you are fighting. Now, of course, you can still botch it if you basically go up against an enemy that has more troops than you have. But there aren't really any of these around. I mean, we have over 30,000 troops. No one else on this map probably has this many troops. So no matter who fights us, we'll probably win. The only thing that could still be a threat to us would be some coalition of more than one powerful kingdom. Then maybe they will be able to muster more than we have, but of course they will then arrive in individual armies until they can merge, and we'll just pick them off one by one and still win. So there is at this point basically no one who can rival us. So but while in other games this would mean that I would get bored and no longer could motivate myself to play the game. And actually we need to take a look at this battle, because it was a little bit close, but yeah, we are winning it. Yeah, what did I want to say? So in other games I would get bored at this stage. Like in Civilization games, it's always the same. I really like these games until I reach the point where there's no longer any threat of the AI actually winning the game. And at that point I completely lose interest, because you just go through the motions. You just know which steps you need to take. You just know what you need to do. There will be nothing that will surprise you. There will be no challenges left. You will just need to basically really each turn go through the motions. While in Crusader Kings 3, what the cool thing here is, it's not like this. There's always a risk of losing everything if your succession goes down. Also, if your succession doesn't work the way you set it up, if something happens, if a key character dies. For example, in this case right now, we are trying to form an empire and we have a lot of kingdom titles, and if our ruler wouldn't die right now due to some unforeseen circumstances, we would lose everything. Every kingdom would go to someone else. We would just retain the one kingdom, so basically 4/5 of our realm would just break away, gain independence, and that would be it. I mean, of course, we could then try to get all of that back. We could try to murder our brothers and try to get those titles back this way, or we could try to get a conquest going on these kingdoms, because we have a claim on them, obviously. So there would be options to try to get back, but it would be really costly. It would cost a lot of time and resources, and that can be fun too, but that's what keeps this game alive after a point where you become too powerful to be concerned about what the AI is doing, because there can still be stuff that throws you back, or that you can even still lose the game if for some reason you run out of heirs. You can still lose the game basically. So that's the thing that makes this game interesting, and actually other Paradox titles as well, because there's always a risk. No matter how powerful you are, there's always a risk of something going wrong. Now, of course, if we look at stuff like EU4 or Hearts of Iron 4, yeah, of course, these games work a little bit differently, and there will be a point where it just no one can do anything to you. So these games have these points where it will be just like, yeah, now I'm so powerful, no one else can challenge me, and there are mechanics in place that will lead to the downfall of your realm from within. So these are a little bit different, but I still find these interesting after that point, because they have much more complexity and depth like than games like Civilization or similar. So there's still a lot of interesting stuff going on and stuff to do, and yeah. So we have a dead counselor there, and our war is won. So I will stop rambling on about game mechanics and why Crusader Kings 3 is so superior to other games. But yeah, it's the way it is. Crusader Kings 3 or Crusader Kings 2, of course, as well. These are games that really keep you going till the end, because there's always a threat of losing everything, and there's always yeah, and I'm picking a new marshal right here, and as you can see, he's a nudist, and then we'll have a nudist chancellor and a nudist marshal. We have 2 nudists on our council. That's, yeah. I don't know what is going on, Jesus Christ. 2 out of 6 people on our council are nudists. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, whatever. So we have won this war, and we now need to deal with that. So we'll disband our armies and see what we do here, what we can do here. So this is West Francia. This is the one we want to keep for ourselves. So we need to figure out who we want to give this to. So I'm realizing that I now can actually usurp the title. As I already told you, because it is part of Brittany. And so he no longer holds any de jure lands of West Francia. So we can actually usurp the title from him, which is great. So I now just need to figure out what to do with these counties up there. Yeah, this guy will get all of that, and also the kingdom title. The other guy will get Burgundy and a lot of other stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, our succession it seems like it's getting worse and worse. So this guy sits in there. I would really like to give him the Kingdom of Brittany, but he also gets a lot of other stuff, as it would seem. So, yeah. There's a little bit of a problem. Now, one thing I didn't realize, and I'm actually just realizing it right now as I'm watching this episode, because my mind is free. I don't need to think about the game. I can just think about what I'm seeing. And one thing I just realized is if I would just give away these titles to some random people and not to my heirs, that would actually, how shall I put it? That would actually also help with our succession, because there would be less titles to go around. So I don't necessarily need to give that stuff away to my sons. I could just give that away to whoever I want. It would have more or less the same effect. There would be less stuff to go around, and I would have less problems with my succession. So, yeah, I didn't realize that just until now. But I will have a look at that in future episodes. So, not necessarily have to give everything away my heirs. So I'm currently looking if we can acquire more kingdoms before our king dies, but it probably is really difficult because on the eastern side we have the problem that these kingdoms that are there, or these duchies and counties and whatever, they are Catholics, which means we cannot declare holy war on them. As you might have noticed, in the West, we basically, every conquest we did was a holy war of some sort for a kingdom or for a duchy or whatever. So and with these you can get vast tracts of land at once. In the East we cannot do that because we cannot declare holy war on Catholics. So in the East we can only declare war for claims. So we need to have claims, or we need to fabricate claims, and these work on a county per county basis. Now we might get lucky here and there and get a claim on an entire duchy, but most of the time these claims will just work for one county. So there will be a lot of wars to be fought until we have enough counties to usurp or create any kingdoms in the East. So right now that's not really what we can. There's not really an option for rapid expansion in the East. One thing I see down there is Verona, but that belongs to Italy, which we already have. So Bavaria, East Francia, Frisia, there's just no way we are getting these in time before our guy dies. So I'm trying to figure this out because I want to create the biggest empire I possibly can. Now, right now, this will include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kingdoms. Right now, we will be able to form an empire with 7 kingdom titles in it. Italy, Bern, Aquitaine, Brittany, West Francia, Lotharingia, and Sardinia. These are the kingdoms we have currently. So we'll be able to form an empire with these. But I don't really see any possibility to get another one. The one thing I'm looking at down there is the Ibrahimid kingdom, because that is actually another religion. So that would be possible, maybe, because we could holy war a few of its duchies, and maybe we could do that in time to get that kingdom as well. Now the only thing is, of course, I don't really want a kingdom in Africa right now. I mean, later down the road, of course, we'll expand more into Africa. But for now, I'm actually really, how shall I put it? I'm content with having the foothold up there in Carthage. So I'm okay with that. But we'll definitely expand more down there once we have our empire. Because basically the intent here is to create a successor to the Roman Empire. So we'll go for Italy, we'll go for Spain, we'll go for North Africa, and maybe we'll even go over to Greece at some point. I don't know how long I will keep this series up. I mean, we have been at it for quite a while now. I mean, if we do this much longer, it will be a year that we have been playing Crusader Kings 3 together. So I don't know how much longer I will keep this up. I mean, creating the empire would, for example, be a good point to say, well, we achieved that, and that was it. I mean, this is my first playthrough in Crusader Kings 3. I haven't played it outside of this Let's Play, so this is my first playthrough. So I don't need to take this to the end date. I mean, I can say, well, I now have my empire. That's what I want to do, and I am happy with that. And from there on, it would just be more conquering. I mean, of course, we could try to go for the Roman Empire. We could try to go, let me have a look at the time, and actually I'm now ending the episode, so we'll need to pause here. So I'm now ending the episode. We will see how far we'll take this. We'll definitely create that empire in the next episode, because we now are all set. We have what we wanted. We have updated our succession law. It will be a long time before we can upgrade that again. So this will not be the lifetime of our guy there. So we'll definitely create that empire in the next episode. We cannot add any more kingdoms to it. And we really need to do this, because our king gets older and older, and our succession gets weirder and weirder. So we really need to take care of that. One thing I did forget to mention, because I was rambling on about stuff, was you might have noticed that we lost 2 of our sons because they were murdered. So this helped a little bit with our succession, but not much. But yeah, we lost 2 heirs. Someone was going around killing our heirs for whatever reason. That happened. Yeah, so we'll end the episode here. I hope it wasn't too I don't know, weird, because I had to record the audio after the fact, because the original audio was not usable. I hope I did a well enough job so that you were still entertained and it wasn't too weird. And yeah, if you did like the episode despite that, then please leave a like below and be back next time when we will create this empire. Finally, yeah. And until then, I wish you all the best. Have a great time. Stay safe and stay healthy. And yeah, bye.